Well, guys, today is a very interesting day. We have the return of a familiar face. If you've been around for a while, it's the first sighting of this guy in a long time since he joined the EA team, and we'll talk about that. But also today, we're going to get the gameplay reveal. So we're going to discuss that in tomorrow's video. I probably will just make the video at the normal time tomorrow is my guess, but if there's something that's like massive or huge, then I'll probably upload right after. But my guess is I'll make a deep dive through it and talk about the things that you might have missed in the gameplay reveal tomorrow. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. So we'll get into all that. Some leakers blue balling us. We'll get into everything we need to today. But I will open one of these new Encore icon picks for this video, by the way, if you want to stick around for that at the end. But yeah, I mean, right now, first of all, I want to say thank you guys for joining and being here today. Yesterday, I didn't upload because there was just nothing to say. I was like, what do I even talk about today? There was literally nothing to talk about. So I'm like, I could just yap for 20 minutes or I could just not waste your guys' time. But on these kinds of days, you know, usually you don't see these days really until like this time of year, like July or something like that. But I always can upload. Like, I can make a video. I just feel like I'm going to talk about jack shit the entire time if I end up making a video on these kinds of days. But yeah, anyway, starting with content, first thing I'll say is I was seeing some comments like, hey, why isn't the 8410 repeatable or the 8510 repeatable yet? Or when are they going to be repeatable? And usually the 8510 repeatable is not until like the beginning of August. So it's still like probably at least 2 weeks away if I had to guess. There was a couple years where they did it in July, but I think now they're kind of pushing it more towards August to try and make the cycle kind of last a little bit longer. But yeah, we're still a ways away from the 84 or 8510 being like fully repeatable. I think we're still at least 2+ weeks away from that. So don't get your hopes up too much. But right now the exchanges are so like repeatable that it doesn't really even matter. But yeah, seeing the content now, you know, I think we're all kind of we're definitely more aligned in the sense that we're liking the content recently. It's just so fascinating that EA thought the 4 weeks of shapeshifters where there was just jack shit to do was a good idea. Like, who thought that that was a good idea? And the kind of insight I wish we could get from these types of decisions, we might actually get today, and we'll see in one sec here. Actually, we can just start talking about that now here. Actually, first off, hold on, I want to show you guys my R9 I made here. 99 shooting, 96 pace, 96 dribbling. I was like, you know what, I gotta make this card the 99 shooting card and just make it just the most juiced out card I possibly could. And here's a question for you guys, because not that I can't do both, I definitely can, but what would you rather see me do? So would you rather see me live stream on Fridays, like new content, new promos, you know, 5-6 hours live stream on Fridays, or would you rather see like a lot of gameplay uploads during the week? I can do both of those, but just speaking like hypothetically, what would you rather see from me, especially for next year? You know, I'm trying to get my mental health back on track, like getting things going again. I'm hoping to really take next year in stride and, you know, start, you know, kind of working my ass off basically. So what do you guys think about that? But anyway, that's my R9 Evo. Back to the surprising news we've seen over the last about 5 or 6 hours, and that's this right here. So guys, yes, this is, you know, don't scratch your eyes. You are really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. Shout out Troy Deeney in Watford. This is true, okay? This is actually happening. We have FUT Accountant, FUT Economist stream tomorrow, aka today at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. Central, my time, which is 5 p.m. UK. If you don't know the backstory behind FUT Economist, he was one of us. He literally was a guy who was a trader, who was a menu grinder, hardcore, really figured out the best ways to do the menu grind. EA hires him, and since that day, the menu grinding has only gotten worse. Now, keep in mind, that could be a giant coincidence. I'm genuinely saying that could be a coincidence, okay? I'm not blaming it all on FUT Economist. I'm not doing it. But as somebody from the outside looking in, it's very suspicious, okay? It is very suspicious, very eye-opening that EA hired one of us grinders to join the staff, the content staff, by the way, like the head live content staff. And since that day, the grinding has only gotten worse. So make of that what you will, obviously. We have no proof that it was FUT Economist or that it wasn't FUT Economist, but he's showing his face tomorrow for an interview of some kind with FUT Accountant at 11 p.m. tomorrow Central Time, 12 p.m. Eastern. So what what does this mean? Well, for one, it means hell has frozen over, and for two, it means that EA are clearly very much more willing to come forward and speak to us now. And the reason for that is because they want to make gameplay better because they know that makes them money. That's not inherently a bad thing, but they're coming forward here because they know this actually can turn into revenue for them. And that's why we're seeing this. We're seeing more open communication because those 3 months were so concerning. We now have a feedback portal. We now have FUT Economist coming forward and talking about, my guess is content, not even gameplay. I think he's part of the content team. So in fact, I know he's part of the content team. So I'm assuming he'll talk about content next year, which some of you never see EA talk about. So this is a really interesting step, right? This is clearly a, hey, guys, we know you're upset. It's not just some online talk. The numbers went down. The revenue went down. We know that. We're going to try and comfort you guys and say, hey, we're trying to look out for you and make a game that's better for you, which of course is probably bullshit, but it might not be, right? You never know. So when I saw this, I think FUT Economist has said pretty much nothing since he was hired in like 2019. I think it was 2019 he was hired, I want to say. Yeah, he stopped consistently tweeting in like 2020. So it was like early 2020, I want to say, when he kind of got hired by EA here. But the reason this is like important news here is because, guys, this is what you can do by just not spending FC points. Like, we are seeing a genuine, I don't want to say panic, it's probably not fair, but I think it's very much a slight desperation from EA being like, hey guys, calm down, you know, we're here for you, I promise, I swear, we're here for you. FUT Economist out from under his bridge, right? You've got like all these guys coming forward here, gameplay devs talking about like the gameplay now. Where's this been for the last 4 years? Nowhere, because they haven't had to. Now they feel like they might actually have to talk to us, and that's why they are. So, of course, like for example, not to be unfair, FUT Economist might genuinely want to talk to us, right? He came from the YouTube community. He might want to talk to us, but he hasn't been for 4 years, and now he is. What's probably the basis behind that? Well, he hasn't felt the need to until now. And this is why voting with your wallet is great. And EA rely on your microtransactions, not just the game sales. The game sales is not enough. It's the microtransactions. They have to have you spend for them to make a lot of money and for them to reach their revenue goals. So anyway, point is, very strange. I would for sure tune in at 11 p.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. UK to see what they talk about. I'll be there. I'll be tuning in because I'm very curious to know what they are going to be talking about. So just, you know, I wanted to announce that here for y'all. And staying with FUT Accountant's tweets here, there was a ton of creators that got flown out to EA today or yesterday when you're seeing this to go and basically play FC26. So there's a ton of new info about this. We have a bunch of leaks apparently that are being teased to us right now about next year's game, and I'm sure some creators filled in some leakers about. Like, for example, there was this tweet today, right? FUT Accountant is getting an inside look at FC26. There's a bunch more creators talking about this, and then FUT Police Leaks had this tweet right here, and this was right after I saw somebody else say big news coming, and then FUT Police Leaks tweeted this out right here with the bomb emojis. So last time I think he tweeted this out, I think it was the exchanges coming back. There might be one I'm forgetting here. Maybe it was an Evo, like a 95 Evo or something like that. But usually this is pretty reserved for like big news. And I think this could be FC26 news. Like a creator leaked something to him about next year's game. But, you know, we have no idea what this could be, really. Yeah, the only thing he said here was this. There's a couple of interesting things in the replies down here. So he said, for one, when are ratings revealed next month after the 15th of August, I think he says there. And down here, somebody replies and says Evo, and he says Evo included, but not only. So I guess that might mean FC25 stuff, actually, not FC26. I don't know. I replied to this tweet saying, we're baiting in October, man. Game's gone, right? I mean, why are we baiting, right? What are we baiting for right now? I'm not sure. Follow me on Twitter for the worst tweets you'll ever see in your life. I have no idea what's going on here. And also, Alex Morgan confirmed today is going to be an icon next year in FC26. And there's Ozio. There's all of our boys here and girls. Sorry, but Alex Morgan here, you know, just she's an icon next year, which thank God, you know, Alex Morgan is mommy. Whoa. Sorry. Anyway, we got the gameplay deep dive July 22nd, aka today, at I think it's like noon again, right? Let's check this out here. What time is this? Yeah, okay, I can't see. I guess it's just the 22nd of July at some point. Yeah, like I said, we'll talk about the gameplay trailer later today in tonight's video. Unless there's something absolutely mind-blowing, it will literally knock your socks off when you hear it. We'll just wait to upload later tonight. But yeah, kind of last thing about next year's game. And the thing is like, it just, this, all of this shows you that EA are definitely feeling the heat. I know that you might think that it's not actually as bad as I'm saying that it is, and it probably isn't, but they are at least feeling some pressure to make the game better next year. Otherwise, there is no way in hell we're seeing some of these changes. So does that mean the game will actually be better next year? We don't know, right? It could mean nothing. It could mean something. We have to wait and see. But nonetheless, it's still a fascinating point that we're at in the FC cycle, in terms of, I guess not even the cycle, in terms of just like the FC landscape, in terms of the future of football games. Like we're in a very interesting place right now, and this game is going to be very, very telling on where it's going, and we'll see what it looks like in today's trailer, right? We'll see what it looks like today's trailer. We got FUT Economist probably talking about content. If I had to guess today a little bit, it'll be a very, very interesting day to see what is told to us, and we'll cover that on the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Like for example, you know, FUT latest, something big is coming. Usually it's pretty reliable, but like something big is coming. What is it? What are you talking about here? Like, I'm tired of this baiting shit in August. Like, just tell us or don't tell us, okay? Something big is coming. What is it? Okay, we need to know what it is. Or is it just pure engagement bait? Probably, right? Those sweet Elon bucks, aka, you know, 3/4 from this tweet here. And guys, can we get a moment of silence for Konami here? Once again, another year has gone by where eFootball will not have Master League. Yes, somehow, some way, we are on 4 straight years of no Master League in eFootball. I don't know what it is, but the collective IQ of EA's competition in these football games, it might be double digits, okay? It might reach that. No eFootball Master League again for the 4th straight year? What the fuck are we doing here? What have you been doing over there for the last 4 years? Genuinely, what have you been doing? It's shocking, okay? It's absolutely shocking, and I'm sorry if you're an eFootball fan. I'm sorry. Like, I'm genuinely very sorry for you. And the next up here, we had to confirm that Alex Morgan will be in that 1 of 15 icon selection from launch. It's not a player pick, but just like 1 of 15 icon pack. So right now, it's Zlatan, Alex Morgan, and R9 are the 3 cards we know now will be in that new icon selection. So you kind of assume that maybe we will see mostly new icons in there, which would be kind of interesting that you're guaranteed a new icon from the pre-order bonus. That would make sense to me, as EA want to drive those pre-orders up now. And I think we probably had more confirmation today leaning towards that idea that it's all new icons mixed in with maybe a couple of like great ones like R9 mixed with somebody else that we'll see in here. But yeah, anyway, EA did confirm that, and I'm not surprised by seeing that. I saw this Reddit post that was kind of interesting. So FC25 Wrapped here. We've got like the Spotify Wrapped version of FC25. So worst returning promos: Shapeshifters, Team of the Season, Future Stars. Is that pretty accurate? I'm not gonna lie, no matter what, Shapeshifters and Team of the Season have to be on this list. I don't know what the hell EA were thinking during these 2 promos, but my god, were they fucking ass. Maybe the casuals loved it and I was too much of a hardcore player to see that they were actually okay promos, but I'm not gonna lie, those 2 deserve to be top 2. I'm stunned they were as bad as they were. Future Stars was the 3rd one on there for this guy here. And moving up, best returning promos, we have Thunderstruck, FUT Birthday, and Team of the Year. So yeah, the 3 best promos this year were those 3. It maybe like those aren't bad for sure. I don't remember FUT Birthday being the greatest promo ever, but I guess maybe I'm missing something, or I don't know. I don't remember FUT Birthday jumping off the page to me, but definitely Thunderstruck and definitely Team of the Year. I think we're pretty damn fun promos there, I think, if I remember right. Though moving on here, worst new promo was Ultimate Succession. This was pretty shit. This promo kind of sucked. I don't even really know the point of this promo. I guess it was like, yeah, successors, right? And I don't even remember like what the successors were exactly. It was kind of weird. The cards weren't the greatest. They didn't really care as much. The content wasn't great during this promo. Yeah, it was not very good. But to be fair, most promos this year kind of seem phoned in. Best new promo, I can get behind this. Like these new road to the final promos, technically speaking, even though they're like the winners cards, right? Like if you win the tournament, whatever that might be, and you get these cards afterwards, so the winners cards, you could say. Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree those were like kind of the best new addition of cards this year. They were a lot of fun. People look forward to those a lot. Best evolutions now. We have Team of the Year Blueprint, Strike Force, and Team of the Year Evo Star 1. Sure, that makes sense. Team of the Year Blueprint was way ahead of its time. We were getting 2 playstyle plus Evos 2 months after the Team of the Year Blueprint Evo came out. So that kind of makes sense. The Blueprint was definitely ahead of its time there. Strike Force was 4 playstyle pluses, while I think many of them for the next couple months were also 3 playstyle pluses. You know, these kinds of things I think EA can maybe learn from and not spread them out as far as they did, maybe to kind of increase the evolution power curve slightly. And maybe that's not even a good idea. I'm not even sure, but it did feel like Evos got way too good too fast compared to where promo cards were, and maybe they can kind of balance that out slightly here. Then best Evos, yeah, Teo Hernandez there, Thierry Henry, this Evo everybody had, and then Ruud Gullit here, yeah, that was a pretty popular Evo as well, but definitely this Thierry Henry, this was definitely probably the most used Evo of the year. Him, maybe Bombito, Teo Hernandez. Trying to think of who else maybe could be in there. I don't know off the top of my head, but definitely I think these 3 are a pretty good shout here. Let's move on to the next one. We've got best SBCs. That's 94 Hullet, 93 CR7 Flashback, and 92 Team of the Year Bale. Yeah, I can get behind that. I think maybe one that's missing here is, what was that SBC? There was like a 2 or 3 week stretch where that Taram SBC was literally everywhere. So that, you know, that could reach into this maybe, but this is not a bad front 3 here. That Hullet, I definitely think is number 1. That Hullet was an insane card. Everyone wanted to get him. But yeah, I don't know. It was definitely a weird year for SBCs, all things considered. Like, there was a 3-month stretch where there wasn't a great SBC. Like, this, between this Hullet and like arguably last week of team of the season, like between this Hullet and this CR7, wait, no, it was way after CR7. It was like between this Hullet and between like the ultimate team of the season, there was like not really SBCs. It was very strange. EA definitely didn't know what they wanted to do this year. Hopefully they learned from that. And yeah, that's kind of that's the Spotify Wrapped of FC 25 there. And also, guys, there is a new playstyle coming, and that's Touch Grass Plus. So, you know, I'm not probably gonna be the biggest fan of this playstyle plus myself. Okay, let's read some of your comments here. We got Huggy Bear T2M. Don't you think the 84 and 85 by 10 should be repeatable, as it's almost the end of the game? Fuck's sake, EA. Come on, do it. I do think that the 8510s or 8410s should come in slightly sooner this year. In all years, they should come slightly sooner. But the thing with EA is they just don't want to do it too soon. They don't want to have a repeatable 8510 like the first week of July, because then they think that, oh, the game's kind of over. The players are going to kind of lose interest in playing weekend league and playing rivals and that kind of thing, and they'll just grind the 8510s instead of doing all those things that keeps you on the game longer and wanting the best cards in the game still, in case you might spend FC points. But yeah, I agree. I think the 8510 should come in like July 1st. July 1st is 8510 day. July and August are all 8510 repeatable months. That to me would be like the ideal schedule there. But EA, I don't think very much like that schedule that I laid out there. We've got Doc and Rum. What do you think is causing the crazy menu lag and server issues? I'm gonna guess that it's obviously, like, you know, the obvious answer here is the overloaded player count. But at the same time, like, what would suggest to you that genuinely there is, and like the most player count we've seen all year happening now? Like, is that what's happening here, or are there servers allocated to somewhere else? Like, that's always the confusing part to me, is that are there less servers now than there were in like November, or are there the same amount? And if there is the same amount, why are they lagging so bad now during content time? They did again today, by the way. They were lagging during content time again today for like 30 minutes or so. I don't really know what's causing it, other than just like a lot of traffic. And if that's the case, maybe EA is actually doing pretty damn good for themselves right now. But I genuinely don't know what the exact reason is as to it happening so often and like every day. It's happening like every day during content time now. And I don't know. I really don't know. Then we got Sid Hearth here. SBC bans have logic. 90 plus SBCs in an hour rolling, and 300 in 24 hours, starting from the first SBC that you do after the previous ban. You're saying there is like a legitimate count to it. The thing is, though, is that like if you as a player on console are able to complete 90 plus in an hour, how can you be banned for that? If EA allow you to do that many through all of their own systems, no pill tools, no web app, even with like shortcuts, no anything at all, and you can complete 90 plus in an hour, how can they ban you for that? That's always been the perplexing thing to me. Is like, yes, I think that you're right in a sense that if we knew the exact number, we could maybe try and avoid that in a way. Like if the general populace knew it was 90 plus in an hour or 324 hours, that it would be like, hey, you might get banned now. But that isn't like a well-known thing. And also if we can do that many in 24 hours, why should we be banned for that? And like I said, there may be a very good reason as to why SPC bans kind of have to exist. I'm just confused as to how a human being who is just fast in the menus can get themselves menu banned. How is that possible? That seems to me to be a flaw in your banning system. That any human being who's just fast in the menus can be banned for playing your game too much. Like that to me is clearly something that should not be the case. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not a guru when it comes to security or when it comes to cheaters and when it comes to exploiters. Like, you know, if there was communication about this, maybe we would be more understanding of where E is coming from here, but we don't really get that until we absolutely have to, aka FUT Economist today at 12 p.m. Eastern time, because, you know, hell has frozen over. But okay, here we go. We have an Encore icon pick, the new ones, and I think they have futties in them right now. But Shapeshifters or FUT Birthday Dino, I will do a giveaway of FC26 on this channel, and Dino will be in the third slot, so it's not going to matter. So first slot is Andre, sure, we knew that already. Dino's in the third slot right here. John Barnes. Okay, here's Dino. I told you guys. I told you it's gonna be Dino. Okay. Thank you guys all for being here. Appreciate you all so much, and I love y'all. So, peace.